Yo, yo, yo. It's a new year, new you, new me, new everything. Big positive changes coming to everything. Yeah. Clothing brand owners, listen. This video is going to be about reinventing your brand for the following year, this year, 2025. What's going on? Why? Why should you reinvent your brand? Well, if your shirt or hoodie looks anything like this hoodie that I'm showing you right now, it tells me everything why you should reinvent your brand. This is a very cliche design over here. Basura, trash. You probably started your brand on a wrong foot because you're a beginner. You just started. There's so many things you've done wrong that I've done wrong when I first started my first brand. I mean, I did so many things wrong with it that at the end of my beginner period, I kind of just wanted to reinvent everything. Which is, I mean, it's okay if you don't want to, but I highly recommend you do. Your brand probably relies too much on past trends. Like, here's my opinion on like the whole Y2K thing. I know it's still kind of popular right now, but honestly, it's gonna fall off soon. You know, once once Shein, you know, had their hands on it, they kind of just destroyed the whole market. I think it's just cliche. I think everyone wears the same thing nowadays, especially like your logos. If your logos look anything like the logos I'm showing you, I mean, it's just outdated, honestly. Too trendy. I give this trend probably like 3 more months or a half a year. It will fall off the face of Earth. And obviously the clothing I'm showing you, the ones with the stars on it, that's cliche. It's overused nowadays. Spider webs overused. Skeleton pretty overused. Yeah, the whole trend here. You shouldn't rely on any trend. Is what I'm, it's my next point. You should not you should not be trend hopping, you know? However, you do want to adjust slightly to the current state of fashion and streetwear. So, what I mean by this is don't completely change your brand's identity to correlate with the modern taste for streetwear because you must have your own identity. However, if you want to maybe introduce, like maybe two pieces of clothing that kind of have that same vibe so that you can blow up, I completely understand that and that's what you should do. However, if all your clothes look like this, you kind of you're cooked, man. Once the trend falls off, I mean, you're done. You have to change your logo. You have to change everything. That's horrible for any clothing brand owner. Another reason you might want to reinvent your brand is if it just doesn't represent you anymore. People tend to forget that clothing brand is an art form. Every piece you put out should represent a part of you. If you're putting out pieces that are constantly, just doesn't even have your vibe anymore. Like you don't even like it. You don't wear it. Like you don't mess with your own clothing. That's horrible. You want to put out clothes that you know you get excited because you think it's so nice. You know, if you have like a clothing brand midlife crisis, it's perfectly fine. You can just take a break for a little bit, but then after that break, you have to reinvent your brand to correlate with your current way of seeing things. You could start off cleaner than before. Now, if you're gained experience, because not only are you going to reinvent your brand, you're also going to start off with way more experience and understanding of your prior mistakes. Because when you first started your brand, you obviously you made so many mistakes. So now, once you start your newish brand, you could definitely start off with way more knowledge of how to run things. And when I say reinventing, does not always mean completely just getting rid of your first brand. You could just patch things up, you know So I wrote here. It says step one, you identify your flaws. So it could be your logo. Maybe your logo sucks. Step two, patch it up, fix it, get a new logo. And step three, see how it works, see how it plays out. You know, if you did better before, then stick with your old logo. If it does better, you know what works. Here are certain things you could patch up. You know, without completely destroying your brand, or not destroying. It's a wrong word. You know, or like just deleting your old brand. What you could do is patch little things up like this. You could fix your logo, like I just said. You could tweak your brand's overall theme. If you have to change the everything about the theme, you might want to start a new brand. But if you want to introduce a certain vibe to it that won't throw it off too much, you could do that. You could try to change your target audience, kind of. Maybe your past target audience just was not messing with your clothes, so you could try to, you know, market to a different, audience. Your manufacturer, that's a big one. Once you first start out on clothing brand, you might want to, you know, look at the market, see more better, cheaper manufacturers to produce your clothes. My first manufacturer, it was so difficult. Now I know way more. So if I would start a new brand, I'd start off on such a better slate. When it comes to that, and obviously your marketing. If you are wasting time posting your streetwear on Twitter for that last year with your first brand, and you didn't gain anything from it, you might want to just quit that overall and just focus more time on TikTok or Instagram. You know, and that's it. That's it. It only takes a little bit to patch things up and to start off better than where you were before. Come on, fam. Alhamdulillah. That's it. Anyways, I appreciate y'all. Video was kind of sloppy. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to get used to it. But yeah, you got any comments for me, man? Let me know down below. I mess with y'all.